When someone is truly thinking about you, their actions betray their intentions, no matter how much they try to hide it. In this video, you'll uncover the undeniable signs that you're occupying her thoughts and why these behaviors are more revealing than her words. Like the Stoics, who mastered the art of observing human nature, we'll explore how subtle cues can expose what's really on her mind. Stick around until the end to learn how to interpret these signs and what they mean for your connection. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story in the comments. Let us know if you've experienced any of these behaviors firsthand. Chapter 1. She remembers important dates in your life. One of the clearest signs that you're on her mind is her ability to recall significant dates in your life. Whether it's your birthday, an important work deadline, or even the anniversary of a shared memory, this ability reveals more than just a good memory. It demonstrates that she's paying close attention to you. People don't make the effort to remember details about others unless they genuinely care. When she remembers these dates, it's her way of silently saying, "Your life matters to me," even if she doesn't express it directly in words. From a Stoic perspective, paying attention to small yet meaningful details reflects mindfulness and intentionality. For her, it's not just about remembering the date itself, but about showing you that she's invested in your happiness and success. Each time she acknowledges an important moment, it's her way of expressing, "You're significant to me," without the need for grand declarations. This kind of mindfulness goes beyond surface-level interest. It's a deliberate act that connects her to your world in a way that words alone can't achieve. She might surprise you with a thoughtful message or casually weave these dates into conversation. For instance, she could text you first thing in the morning with a heartfelt happy birthday, or drop a line like, "Your project presentation is today, right? Good luck." These aren't random comments. They're intentional signals that she's keeping track of what matters most to you. Her attentiveness shows that even when you're not around, she's thinking of you, rooting for your success, and actively participating in your journey. In some cases, she may even go out of her way to make these moments special. Perhaps she plans a small celebration for your achievements or thoughtfully reminisces about the time you both shared a memorable experience. She might mention these dates as part of an inside joke or tie them to shared milestones, deepening the emotional resonance. This effort is her way of strengthening the bond between you and letting you know how much she values your connection. Each act, no matter how small, is laden with meaning. It's a quiet but profound acknowledgement of how much you mean to her. To reciprocate, show her that her thoughtfulness doesn't go unnoticed. Acknowledge her kindness and let her know how much it means to you. Even a simple, "Thank you for remembering, it really brightened my day," can go a long way in deepening the connection. Expressing gratitude not only reinforces her efforts, but also encourages her to continue finding ways to express her care in ways that feel authentic to her. It's a two-way street where appreciation nurtures more thoughtfulness. Furthermore, pay attention to the emotional depth behind her actions. Remembering an important date isn't just about keeping track of time, it's a way for her to actively participate in your life. She wants to be part of your celebrations and milestones, even in the smallest ways. By appreciating and acknowledging this effort, you nurture a mutual connection that grows stronger with each shared moment. When you mirror her attentiveness, you create a relationship built on mutual care and respect. Ultimately, when someone remembers the details that matter to you, it's an act of love, respect, and emotional investment. It signifies that you occupy a meaningful place in their life and that they're willing to put in the effort to keep you close. These acts of remembrance are more than just thoughtful. They're reflections of her desire to support your happiness and success in every way she can. So, take note of her attentiveness. It's not just a sign of her care, it's a reflection of her deeper connection with you and her desire to see you thrive. Chapter 2. She does nice things for you. When someone goes out of their way to make your life easier or more enjoyable, it's a powerful indicator that you're on their mind. Whether it's offering to help you with a task, surprising you with coffee when she knows you're stressed, or sharing something she thinks you'll love, these actions reveal more than you might initially realize. These gestures aren't random, they are deliberate acts of care, carefully chosen to show you that she values your happiness and prioritizes your well-being. Stoics believe that actions speak louder than words, and this truth is evident here. Her willingness to invest time and effort into brightening your day reflects a deeper level of connection, one that transcends the boundaries of casual friendship. It's her way of saying, "I see you, I understand your needs, and I want to be part of your life in a meaningful way." These moments are not just fleeting kindnesses, they're deliberate choices that demonstrate she's not just thinking of you in passing, but is actively considering how to make your life a little better and more fulfilling. Take a moment to reflect on these small yet significant gestures. Whether it's as simple as a thoughtful text checking in on you when you're feeling down, or as grand as rearranging her schedule to support you, each action carries an underlying message: you're important to her. These thoughtful deeds show that she's attuned to your needs and willing to make a genuine effort to fulfill them. Her ability to anticipate what might bring you comfort or joy reveals not just consideration, but also a deep level of attentiveness to your well-being. Moreover, these acts often require her to step out of her own routine or comfort zone, further highlighting her level of care. Bringing you a favorite snack she had to search for, sharing an inside joke that took time to think of, or lending a hand with something she knows you're struggling with, each of these moments is her way of expressing, without words, "You matter to me." These thoughtful actions are her quiet yet unmistakable way of saying she values your happiness and wants to contribute to it. In essence, her actions are a testament to the emotional investment she's making in the connection you share. These gestures should never be taken lightly. They represent an emotional investment, a willingness to prioritize your well-being over her convenience. Her actions show a depth of care and attention that is both meaningful and intentional. When someone goes out of their way like this, it's a clear sign of their affection and commitment to your happiness. These moments, though they may seem ordinary on the surface, are packed with intention and genuine thoughtfulness. So, pay close attention to these seemingly small favors. They are telling you more than you think. Each gesture is like a puzzle piece that forms a larger picture of her feelings toward you. A simple action like staying late to help you finish a task or giving you advice tailored to your struggles speaks volumes about her intentions. When you acknowledge and appreciate these acts, you not only validate her efforts, but also create a space for the connection between you to grow even stronger. By reciprocating with your own acts of kindness, you strengthen the bond that is already forming. A genuine thank you or an acknowledgement of her thoughtfulness reinforces her willingness to go the extra mile. Together, these actions become a foundation for a deeper, more meaningful relationship, one built on mutual care and genuine consideration. Chapter 3. You catch her looking at you. Few things communicate unspoken feelings as clearly as the way someone looks at you. If you frequently catch her glancing in your direction, whether during group conversations, across a busy room, or when she assumes you're not paying attention, it's a significant clue that you're occupying her thoughts. These stolen glances aren't random, they're instinctive behaviors revealing her focus on you, even if she tries to hide it. You might notice her gaze lingering just a little longer than necessary, as if she's absorbing your presence. Sometimes, she'll look away the moment your eyes meet, perhaps out of embarrassment or the fear of revealing too much too soon. These fleeting moments of eye contact often feel loaded with unspoken meaning, creating a silent yet powerful exchange that hints at her inner feelings. From a Stoic perspective, the eyes are windows to the soul, revealing truths that words may conceal. The ancient Stoics believed in observing human behavior with clarity and detachment, allowing them to discern deeper emotions and intentions. In this case, her frequent glances are an involuntary act, a crack in the armor of pretense that exposes her attraction. Even if she's hesitant to verbalize her feelings, her gaze betrays her thoughts. the setting can amplify the significance of her attention. For instance, during a group conversation, is she primarily directing her attention toward you, even when others are speaking? In a crowded room, does she seem to know exactly where you are at all times? These behaviors suggest she's attuned to your presence, actively seeking moments to observe or interact with you. It's not just about casual curiosity, it's a sign that you hold a particular significance in her mind. Body language often complements these glances, adding more depth to what her gaze conveys. When she looks at you, does she lean in slightly, as if drawn closer by an invisible force? Does she adjust her posture or play with her hair when your eyes meet? These accompanying signals enhance the meaning of her gaze, making it clear that her attention is not just casual but intentional. Pay attention to how she reacts when she's caught. If she quickly looks away, it might signal shyness or an attempt to mask her feelings. However, if she holds your gaze for a moment longer and offers a slight smile, it's an even stronger indication of her interest. A blush creeping across her cheeks or a small laugh after being caught are additional clues that she's flustered by her inability to hide her emotions. In situations where her glances are more prolonged or frequent, it's an invitation for you to respond. The Stoics valued courage and authenticity in human connections, and this is an opportunity to embody those traits. Acknowledge her attention with a confident smile or a slight nod, letting her know you've noticed. This can create a sense of mutual recognition, breaking the ice without the need for words. If you want to take it a step further, initiate a conversation. A playful comment like, "Caught you looking again, something on my face," can diffuse the tension with humor while signaling that you're aware of her interest. This approach makes it easier for her to feel comfortable expressing herself, paving the way for deeper interaction. It's also worth considering the consistency of her behavior. If these glances are a one-time occurrence, they might not hold as much significance. However, if you notice a pattern, she regularly seeks you out with her eyes in different settings, it's a strong indication that her thoughts frequently revolve around you. These consistent behaviors demonstrate that you're more than just a passing interest, you're someone she's actively drawn to. Even in moments of casual interaction, her gaze can reveal layers of meaning. For example, during a light-hearted conversation, does she lock eyes with you while laughing or speaking? This signifies her desire to connect on a deeper level, using eye contact as a bridge for intimacy. The Stoics believed in the power of authentic presence, and her sustained attention is her way of anchoring herself to the moment she's sharing with you. Be mindful of your own responses during these exchanges. The way you react to her gaze can either encourage her to open up or make her retreat. Maintain a steady, relaxed demeanor when your eyes meet. Let your own gaze communicate interest and warmth without overwhelming intensity. This balance creates a sense of safety and intrigue, making it easier for her to feel comfortable expressing her feelings. Lastly, recognize that her glances aren't just about physical attraction, they're about emotional curiosity. She's not only drawn to how you look, but also to who you are and what you represent. Her gaze reflects her attempt to understand and connect with you on a deeper level, even if she's unsure of how to initiate that connection verbally. In conclusion, catching her looking at you is far more than a casual occurrence, it's a glimpse into her unguarded thoughts and feelings. Whether it's a quick glance, a lingering look, or an unmistakable gaze across the room, her attention speaks volumes about her interest. By responding with confidence and warmth, you can transform these silent exchanges into meaningful moments, building a foundation for a connection that goes beyond words. Chapter 4. She talks to your friends about you. When a woman is curious about you but wants to keep her feelings under wraps, she might start talking to your friends. Asking them about your hobbies, your recent activities, or even your opinions on certain topics is her indirect way of learning more about you. These conversations allow her to gain insights into your world without risking the vulnerability of asking you directly. If your friends mention that she's been asking about you, it's a strong indicator that you're on her mind more often than she's willing to admit. She may frame her questions as casual or even try to disguise her interest as mere curiosity, but the intent behind them often carries a deeper meaning. For instance, she might ask your friends about your favorite music, upcoming plans, or how you've been doing lately. This shows she's investing time and effort into understanding you better, even if she's not ready to approach you openly. The Stoics believed in observing the dynamics of human interactions to uncover hidden truths. A person's actions, especially those involving their social circle, often reveal more than words alone. By engaging with your friends, she's effectively navigating the space between curiosity and caution, using them as intermediaries to explore her interest in you. This behavior reflects her desire to connect with you, tempered by a need to protect her own emotions. Take note of how your friends respond when her name comes up. Do they mention her questions about you with a knowing smile or an encouraging nudge? Are they subtly trying to play matchmaker, perhaps hinting at her interest or even suggesting that you two should spend time together? These actions from your friends can be just as revealing as her own behavior. They might be trying to bridge the gap because they see potential in the connection and want to give it a gentle push forward. This kind of indirect approach also speaks to her thoughtfulness. By reaching out to your friends, she's likely trying to gauge your interests, preferences, and personality before making a move. It's a careful strategy that allows her to gather information while avoiding potential rejection. At the same time, it's a sign of her genuine interest. People don't go out of their way to learn about someone unless they find them intriguing or significant in some way. If your friends share that she's been asking about you, use this as an opportunity to bridge the gap. Instead of waiting for her to make the next move, consider taking the initiative. Acknowledge her curiosity indirectly by mentioning a detail you know she might have learned from your friends. For example, if she asked them about your favorite movie, casually bring it up in a conversation with her. "I heard you're a fan of movie title, too. That's one of my favorites." This creates an opening for dialogue while subtly letting her know that you're aware of her interest. Additionally, her engagement with your friends offers a chance to strengthen your own social connections. When you're attentive to the way she interacts with your circle, you gain valuable insights into her personality and the kind of relationship she's envisioning. Does she seem genuinely interested in forming connections with your friends, or is her focus solely on you? The way she integrates herself into your social dynamic can be a strong indicator of her intentions and compatibility. From a Stoic perspective, it's important to approach this situation with clarity and balance. Recognize the effort she's making to learn about you and consider the significance of her actions. At the same time, avoid jumping to conclusions or overanalyzing every interaction. Instead, observe the broader pattern of her behavior and how it aligns with the insights provided by your friends. If you decide to act on her interest, do so with confidence and intention. Reach out to her in a way that feels natural and authentic, showing that you've noticed her efforts and appreciate them. This not only acknowledges her curiosity, but also sets the stage for deeper communication and connection. For example, you could say something like, "It's funny, friend's name mentioned you asked about specific topic. I thought that was really thoughtful." This kind of approach is light-hearted yet direct, encouraging openness without putting her on the spot. At the same time, respect her boundaries. While her questions about you may signal interest, they don't necessarily guarantee that she's ready for a more direct interaction. Pay attention to her responses and let the dynamic evolve naturally. The Stoics emphasized the value of patience and understanding in building meaningful relationships, and this situation is no exception. In conclusion, her decision to talk to your friends about you is a subtle yet powerful indicator of her interest. It reflects her desire to learn more about you and find common ground, even if she's hesitant to approach you directly. By acknowledging her efforts and engaging thoughtfully, You can turn these indirect interactions into opportunities for deeper connection, paving the way for a relationship rooted in mutual understanding and respect. Chapter 5. Her friends seem to know about you. If her friends already appear to know details about you, it's a major indicator that you've been the subject of conversation in her world. They might tease her when you're nearby, make offhand comments that reveal she's mentioned you before, or even act as if they've been waiting to meet you. This isn't just coincidence, it's a window into her feelings. Her friend's behavior often reflects what she's too hesitant or cautious to express herself. When her friends start to drop hints, joke about you too, or go out of their way to make you feel comfortable, it's not random. They've likely heard about you enough to form their own impressions, and their behavior signals that she's talked about you in ways that suggest interest. This could mean sharing stories about your interactions, recounting things you've said or done, or even admitting her feelings to them. Stoics placed great value on the social connections that shape and reflect our inner lives. The people closest to us often act as mirrors of our emotions, revealing truths we might not explicitly express. Her friends, as part of her inner circle, are likely privy to her true thoughts about you. When they interact with you in a way that feels warm, welcoming, or even conspiratorial, it's a strong indicator that they're rooting for something to happen between you two. Pay attention to the way her friends behave around her when you're present. Do they glance at her when you speak, as if waiting for her reaction? Do they giggle or nudge her when you're nearby? These small actions often speak volumes. It's their way of acknowledging the unspoken connection without directly addressing it. If they make jokes about you being together or ask leading questions like, "So, what do you think of her?" it's often their subtle, or not so subtle, attempt to push things forward. Another key sign is if her friends go out of their way to include you in activities or conversations. If they make an effort to invite you to group outings, introduce you to other members of their circle, or ensure you feel included, it's often because they see you as a potential part of her life. This level of engagement isn't just friendliness, it's strategic. They're likely testing the waters to see how you fit into her world and gauging your interest in her. The Stoics understood that people rarely act in isolation. Our social networks play a significant role in how we express ourselves and navigate relationships. If her friends are actively facilitating your connection, they're acting as her allies, helping her bridge the gap between her feelings and her actions. It's a way for her to explore the possibility of something more with you without having to take all the emotional risk herself. It's also worth noting how her friends talk about her when she's not around. Do they mention qualities she has that align with your interests? Do they highlight things she's said about you? If they seem eager to promote her in a positive light or steer the conversation toward her, it's a clear indication that they're rooting for a potential connection. Use this dynamic to your advantage by building rapport with her friends. Engage with them genuinely and show interest in getting to know them. This not only strengthens your connection with her, but also creates a supportive environment for your relationship to develop. When her friends like you and see that you treat her well, they're more likely to encourage her to pursue something deeper with you. At the same time, avoid overstepping or relying too heavily on their involvement. While her friends can provide valuable insights and support, the foundation of any relationship ultimately rests on the bond between the two of you. Use their hints and encouragement as validation of her interest, but focus on fostering direct communication and connection with her. Stoics believed in the importance of reading social cues and understanding the dynamics of relationships. Her friend's behavior offers a wealth of information about her feelings, but it's up to you to interpret those signals thoughtfully and act with intention. Avoid jumping to conclusions based on isolated incidents. Instead, look for consistent patterns in how her friends interact with you and how they respond to her when you're around. Finally, acknowledge the effort her friends are making. If they're dropping hints or going out of their way to include you, it's because they see potential and want to support her. Express gratitude for their warmth and openness, as this reinforces the positive dynamic and encourages them to continue playing a supportive role. In conclusion, her friends' knowledge of you and their behavior around you are powerful indicators of her interest. They act as a bridge between her internal feelings and external actions, often revealing what she's too reserved to admit outright. By paying attention to their cues, engaging with them genuinely, and building rapport, you can strengthen your connection with her and create a foundation for a deeper relationship. Chapter 6. She Faces You. Body Language. Body language is one of the most authentic indicators of how someone feels, often revealing truths that words try to hide. If she frequently angles her body toward you, keeps her posture open, or subtly mirrors your gestures, these non-verbal cues are powerful signs of her interest. Even when she's not speaking directly to you, the way she positions herself can offer a window into her emotions. When a woman is drawn to you, her subconscious often takes over, guiding her body to face you, lean in during conversations, or align her feet in your direction. These actions may seem small, but they're loaded with meaning. For instance, when someone turns their torso toward you in a room full of people, it's a strong indication that you're the person they're most attuned to in that moment. Stoics, who valued observation and understanding of human nature, recognized that nonverbal communication often carries more weight than spoken words. Actions, after all, are unfiltered by social conventions or personal fears. A woman's body language can act as an unguarded expression of her feelings, reflecting her desire to connect with you on a deeper level, even when she's reluctant to say so outright. In group settings, her body language becomes even more telling. Watch for moments when she's interacting with others, but her body remains oriented toward you. This could mean that while she's engaging in conversation elsewhere, her focus and comfort lie with you. Similarly, if she leans in slightly when you're speaking or adjusts her posture to match yours, it's her subconscious effort to align with you emotionally and physically. Another subtle but revealing gesture is mirroring. If she begins to reflect your movements, like crossing her legs when you do, picking up her drink after you take a sip, or echoing your tone or phrasing, it's not a coincidence. This behavior, known as the chameleon effect, is often an unconscious sign of rapport and attraction. It's her body's way of signaling, "I'm in sync with you." Eye contact plays a crucial role here as well. If she frequently makes and holds eye contact, or if her gaze lingers a little longer than usual, it's another form of nonverbal communication that speaks volumes. Stoics emphasized the importance of directness and clarity, and prolonged eye contact can act as a silent affirmation of her interest. Pay attention to how she reacts when she's near you in casual settings. Does she lean in slightly when speaking to you, even if the environment is loud? Does she find reasons to sit or stand close to you? Proximity and openness are subtle ways she's expressing her comfort and attraction. If she turns her shoulders and hips toward you while talking, or if her feet point in your direction, it's often a sign that you're the center of her attention, even in a crowded room. However, body language isn't limited to direct interactions. Take note of her posture and movements when she doesn't realize you're watching. For instance, if she adjusts her hair, fixes her outfit, or straightens her posture upon noticing you, these preening behaviors often signal a subconscious desire to appear attractive and confident in your presence. Stoics believed in the power of awareness, encouraging individuals to read between the lines of human behavior. By observing her nonverbal cues, you can gain insights into her feelings that words might never convey. Understanding these subtle signals requires patience and attentiveness, but they can reveal her true emotions far more accurately than any verbal response. It's also important to consider the context. If her body language consistently aligns with you across different situations, be it during casual hangouts, formal events, or even unplanned encounters, it's a strong indication that her interest isn't fleeting. Her actions suggest she feels a sense of connection and comfort around you that transcends the moment. How you respond to her body language matters as well. Maintaining a confident and open posture can help reinforce the positive dynamic. When she leans in, lean in slightly yourself. If she mirrors your movements, let the synchronicity flow naturally. These small adjustments can create a feedback loop, deepening the sense of mutual attraction and understanding. However, avoid overanalyzing or making assumptions based on isolated gestures. Look for patterns over time. If her body language consistently signals openness, alignment, and comfort, you can be reasonably confident in her interest. At the same time, respect her space and avoid misinterpreting friendliness for romantic intent. Stoics emphasized humility and caution, reminding us that while observations are valuable, they should never lead to presumptive actions. In conclusion, her body language is a roadmap to her true feelings. By observing how she positions herself, mirrors your movements, and aligns her physical presence with yours, you can decode her unspoken emotions. Through attentiveness and reciprocity, you can use these cues to foster a deeper, more authentic connection. Whether it's a slight tilt of her head, the direction of her feet, or the way she holds your gaze, her actions often reveal what words cannot. Chapter 7. She messages you a lot. Consistent communication is one of the clearest signs that you are frequently on her mind. If she's reaching out with texts, sharing memes, or updating you about even the smallest details of her day, it's her way of keeping the connection alive. These actions aren't just casual, they reflect her effort to maintain a presence in your life, even when you're not physically together. When a woman messages you often, it shows intentionality. She's not merely passing time or treating you as an afterthought. Instead, her consistent outreach indicates that you occupy a space in her thoughts, and she wants to ensure you're part of her daily routine. Sharing a funny meme or asking for advice might seem trivial, but these small gestures carry a deeper meaning. I value talking to you, and I want to hear your perspective. For the Stoics, maintaining meaningful relationships required deliberate effort and ongoing communication. Regular engagement wasn't seen as a chore, but as a cornerstone of building strong bonds. Her frequent messages mirror this philosophy. Every text she sends is an opportunity to strengthen your connection, showing that she cares enough to prioritize you in her busy life. Sometimes, she might use messaging to subtly test the waters. For instance, she could bring up a topic you're passionate about or recall a joke from a past conversation. These moments aren't random, they're crafted to evoke a response and keep the dialogue flowing. They also give her a sense of your interest and engagement without the vulnerability of a face-to-face conversation. Her messaging habits might also reflect her level of emotional investment. If she reaches out during significant moments in her life, like before a big meeting, after a tough day, or during a major event, it's a clear sign she sees you as a source of comfort or encouragement. Similarly, sending a good morning or good night message can signal that you're the first person she thinks of when she wakes up and the last on her mind before she sleeps. It's not just the frequency of her messages that matters, but also the content. Pay attention to the depth of your conversations. Does she open up about her thoughts and feelings? Does she ask about your day, your opinions, or your well-being? These questions suggest she's not just keeping the conversation alive, but is genuinely invested in knowing more about you. While her consistent communication is a strong indicator of interest, it's also essential to maintain balance. Respond thoughtfully, but avoid over-investing in the conversation to the point where it feels forced. Stoics valued measured responses and clarity in interactions. By mirroring her energy and maintaining a steady yet composed approach, you can foster a dynamic that feels natural and reciprocal. Moreover, take note of how she reacts when you're slow to respond or unavailable. If she checks in to see if everything is okay or follows up later, it's another clue that she values your interaction and misses your presence when you're not around. Her patience and understanding in these moments further highlight her emotional attachment. To deepen this connection, use her messaging habits as a starting point for meaningful interactions. If she sends you a meme, respond with humor and add a personal touch. If she asks about your day, take the opportunity to share a little more about your world. These exchanges not only affirm her efforts, but also create a stronger emotional bond. At times, she might even reveal her feelings through the subtle subtext of her messages. Emojis, choice of words, and the timing of her texts can all convey unspoken emotions. For instance, frequent use of heart emojis, affectionate nicknames, or late-night texts could be her way of hinting at her growing attachment. While Stoics focused on direct communication, they also acknowledged the power of understanding nuanced expressions. Finally, recognize the value of gratitude. If she's consistently reaching out, let her know you appreciate it. A simple acknowledgement, such as, "I really enjoy talking to you," can go a long way in encouraging her to keep opening up. Stoic teachings emphasized the importance of expressing gratitude to those who enrich our lives, and this principle applies here as well. In conclusion, her frequent messaging is a clear and intentional sign that you're on her mind. By responding with thoughtfulness and maintaining a balanced dynamic, you can create a meaningful connection that goes beyond the surface. Whether through casual memes or deep conversations, her effort to stay in touch is a reflection of her growing interest and emotional investment in you. These behaviors are clear indications that you're on her mind, even if she doesn't explicitly say it. By observing her actions and paying attention to these subtle cues, you can uncover what she's feeling and deepen your connection. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share your story. And make sure to subscribe for more insights into human behavior and Stoicism.